Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Wednesday, time for official plays here for college. The NFL official plays, that'll be coming. Hit that subscribe button. As you can see on the whiteboard behind me, on football this year, NFL and college were combined 15 for 10, up 5.5 units. Hopefully that's worth hitting that subscribe button. Costs you guys absolutely nothing, and you'll be notified when my next video comes up. Let's get into it. Half unit plays. We got a total of 8.5 units going out the door on this college football weekend. So the Virginia Maryland game, I just can't get there at the spread of 15.5. Maybe it's 14.5 for your guys seeing it. Again, a friendly reminder to shop around, use multiple apps. Don't just be loyal to say FanDuel. Make sure you guys got 3 or 4 apps on your phone and find the best lines here. I'm going to go ahead and take over 48.5 in this Virginia-Maryland game. This is only a half unit play. I wanted some action here because it's a Friday night game. I always like kind of being involved with something on a Thursday or a Friday night for college because I just can't wait until Saturday. So only a half unit play. Couldn't get there with the spread. Maryland, I mean, I don't know, guys. You can rewatch the highlights. The Charlotte game, not impressive. Their defense, not impressive. Virginia showed a little bit of a spark. I know it's a big emotional letdown. A lot of people think Virginia really emptied the tank and now they're just going to go to Maryland on a Friday night and get their doors blown off. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but I like the freshman, the quarterback that stepped in for Virginia. I think if they can at least get us like 17 points, maybe even up to 20, that this is going to just sail over the 48.5. So over 48.5, Virginia, Maryland. 1 unit plays. That's going to be the bulk of our plays. We got 4 of them. Ohio State minus 29.5. I wish I got it earlier. It's gone through a couple of key numbers like 27 and 28. But at the end of the day, I believe Ohio State is a team that is going to have a very, 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 very consistent progression throughout the season. Teams like Florida State, I mean, the LSU game, they showed us who they were right off the jump. I mean, that was a complete game. They looked phenomenal. They look like a contender to win the title here, and it's just like, level from there. You started off at the absolute best you could look, and you're just level now. Ohio State hasn't looked like totally invincible at times, and I just see a consistent progression coming, like a nice parabola. And one of these games, they're going to absolutely blow the doors wide open, at least against like a halfway respectable opponent. That's what we have here. As long as it's under 30, I'm going to lay the points with Ohio State at home. I think they continue to improve, and this could be an absolute beatdown. They could win this game by 45. So Ohio State minus 29.5 unit. Same thing with UNC. I got UNC here minus 7. I wish it was under a touchdown, but what can you do? Minnesota, they were like so unbelievably lucky to get by that Nebraska game. They should have lost that game easy. Nebraska, we've seen them. Not impressive. UNC at home. The App State game was a little bit of a question mark, kind of like, is UNC really good? Like, what happened? Like, they looked so good against South Carolina, and now App State almost scared them. Shoulda, coulda won. I think they get back to kind of the style they played against South Carolina. I expect a more physical game here. Minnesota, they're just too predictable. They're just one of those classic Big Ten teams. Line of scrimmage, they, might have a little bit of an edge. Run the ball. I just don't see him scoring a lot. Too much offense here for UNC. They should cover the touchdown at home. So a unit on UNC minus 7. I'm taking Florida with the 7 points. Again, I see some 6s floating around, 6.5. I see 7. Nothing above 7. I would love 7.5 or 8, but we're going to take the 7 points with Florida Gators at home. Could this be an upset? I know Florida's looked absolutely horrible, absolutely miserable at times. Just a hard place to play. Tennessee, they just don't impress me. I mean, you got by Virginia. That wasn't impressive. Week 2, that was extremely concerning. Maybe they win the game. I'm taking the 7 points with Florida for a unit. And then we're going to Troy. I had Troy in my notes coming off of week 2. Did they lose to Kansas State? Yes. Was the score rather concerning? Yes. But I watched the game, and if some of you guys watched the game, you would know that final score does not reflect how that game went. That game was very close. In fact, if Kansas State didn't score that touchdown right before halftime, I think they would have been in a world of trouble. I think that game would have came right down to the wire, possibly an upset. I like this Troy team. They got some great receivers. They got some players over there at Troy. I expect to bounce back here at home, and a line of only 2.5 under a field goal against JMU. I know JMU, pulled off that comeback against Virginia. Maybe they're riding a little bit high. I think that's a good spot to get put in the loss column. 1 unit on Troy, minus 2.5. Those are 1 unit plays, 2 unit plays. I'm laying 9.5 points with LSU. Mississippi State does not impress me. They needed 5 turnovers and overtime to beat Arizona. Now you got LSU, an LSU team that cannot afford any more mishaps, right? They lost to Florida State. They got embarrassed on national television. I know it's a big number, and in years past, maybe under Mike Leach, we would 100,000,000% be grabbing the points with Mississippi State. Not here, not this year. I mean, they've gone to a complete run game. If LSU can shut down the run here, they're going to be in a whole world of trouble. I'm laying the 9.5 points with LSU for 2 units. Second 2-unit play will be West Virginia Mountaineers. The game was West Virginia as an underdog. They quickly got bet to a favorite. They got knocked back down to a slight underdog, and now they're a favorite once again. The favorite is the right side. Look, I watched the whole Penn State game. I know that final score wasn't great. They didn't cover, but they were in that game, and really, if their quarterback just could have made 4 throws, 5 throws, on some of those bigger plays, and if Neil Brown didn't run like the worst trick plays you've ever seen on 4th down conversions that failed, West Virginia was absolutely in that game. I like them here. It's at home. Night game, backyard brawl. Come on. They lost last year. Should have won that one as well. C.J. Donaldson's going to rush for a bunch of yards in this one. Give me West Virginia on the money line as the spread's only 1. I'm not even going to mess with it. West Virginia, money line, 2-unit play. And that's everything, guys. That's 8.5 units. Slap a like on this video and go ahead and let me know in the comments if you disagree with any of these picks or if there's some that I missed. Maybe you're hoping a game that I'd bring up, something that you like, something that you're confident about. I would love to see that in the comments, and maybe I'll tell you on that. I'll see you guys in the next video.